The following program was produced by a community producer.
Hi, and welcome to Malden Community Conversations with the Malden Community Coalition. The Malden Community Coalition is a group of organizations and nonprofits in the Malden area who work to make Malden a better place. We exist to help volunteers find groups to work with and groups that need volunteers find them. And we're here today with people from Malden Safe Streets. Thank you so much for being here today. Would you like to introduce yourselves first?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
My name is Allie Durak. I am the president of Malden Safe Streets. I am a mother. I own my own gardening business, and I love Malden.
I'm Bob Fitzpatrick, vice president of Malden Safe Streets. Live here in Malden, Ward 1. Wife, 2 dogs, work for the Department of Public Utilities.
Okay.
I'm Norris Chowdhury, and I am the father of 2 children, very small. And I moved here in 2019 and absolutely fell in love with this town.
Great.
You are the?
And I am the secretary.
The secretary.
Okay.
All right, great. So I'm just going to throw out some questions, and whoever wants to answer them can answer them. What is Malden Safe Streets?
All right. Malden Safe Streets is a local community organization, really started by Allie, and just sort of developed around the idea that we wanted to encourage people to be involved and also to be able to walk, bike, use various mobility devices, but just to be able to get around the city safely outside of a car.
Okay.
So we began meeting monthly and have grown our membership sort of organically over time, and recently became incorporated as a 501c3, and now we have a board of directors, and we're official.
Okay, great. I understand that you have open meetings in Malden every month. When are the meetings, and where do you meet?
We do. We meet once a month.
It's the last Monday.
The last Monday of the month at Bay State Co-housing on Pleasant Street, right near Malden. We've just been meeting there for a couple months now. They've been generous enough to allow us to use their community room. It's an excellent space. We provide pizza. We ask people to give a little donation if they can to offset the cost of the pizza, but there's pizza, and we usually try to have guest speakers there, some sort of topic to keep things interesting and keep folks engaged, and also just to bring everybody up to speed on things we're working on.
Okay. So what are some of the kinds of recent topics that you've had, or visitors who've spoken?
Yeah, so recently we've had our own members present the walk audit we did.
Okay.
And the walk audit, which we can probably get into now or later, is just a survey of the streetscape as experienced by someone outside of a car, as Bob said. So we collected all this data through a Google form that Noah, one of our members, was able to put together. And so we just all went out before this meeting, in the month leading up to it, did all these audits to figure out how it was to be a pedestrian in Malden. And at this last meeting, Noah presented all the results, and we got to see, paint a picture of what the walk audit resulted in. So we got to see the fruits of our labor.
Cool.
And,
I'll come back.
yeah.
I'll come back to some more
Yeah.
questions about the walk audit in a little bit. I see you've got some graphics to share as well. In addition to working with the Malden Community Coalition, what other groups do you partner with around town?
So we we have partners we've had for a long time, like you, and we have new partners that come to us. And for instance, a local group that came to us maybe 2 meetings ago in person was our members of our crossing guards for Malden. And what's awesome about the crossing guard group is they came to us because they knew we work with Safe Routes to School, which is a state-run program. And we have a local coordinator that I've been working closely with so we can understand what grants are offered by the state and their program. And they had an event where they really want us to support our local crossing guards, and we celebrated. We have like a month where we celebrate our crossing guards. Hopefully we'll do more than just a month, but Gina won Crossing Guard of the Year last year for our state. She won, like, you had private submittals, and she had over 100 submittals from Malden residents, which is amazing.
Who just love Gina the crossing guard.
Yes.
Wow.
So she's amazing.
Right, because the crossing guards are really important in keeping kids and parents safe as they walk to and from school. What school does Gina serve?
So she works with Mystic Valley Charter School right now, and I believe in the past she's also worked with Ferryway, but she's very close with all of the crossing guards.
Okay.
So she's keeping me aware on which crossing guards need a little extra attention because they've had a lot of actual run-ins with cars and drivers not paying attention to where they're going, and I mean, kind of threatening their physical bodies, which is why we're here as an advocacy group. We're here to listen to the locals and the people on the ground.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So what are the big issues you're working on around the city? You mentioned the walk audit, which we'll come back to, safe routes to school and crossing guards and crossing guard safety. Are there any other issues that Malden Safe Streets is working on that we should know about?
So we've been working on general bringing forth resources, providing resources for people to bring their issues to, like as a conduit for things that they notice could use improvement, whether to help them like submit a C-click fix to report a broken crossing signal. Other things we've worked on were advocacy for things like the Spot Pond Brook Greenway project. We helped to organize around making sure that we have the design was considering people who are actually going to be using this. So we helped to rally our members and the community to attend meetings. And in general, we work to keep people plugged in to the streetscape of Malden, to help them be aware of things that are happening through our meetings, through our website, through Facebook. And yep, those are kind of some of the bigger things. But overall, we just want to make sure that if you're outside of a car and you're walking, that you have, or biking or rolling, that we are able to provide a safe way to do that and not have to worry about it.
Okay. All right, great. So tell me a little bit more about the Spot Pond Brook Greenway, and I know you've been involved in the city planning process for that. Who wants to tell me more about the Spot Pond Brook Greenway and the current progress?
I can go more into that, yeah. So this has been something that Councilor O'Malley proposed like many years back at this point, it feels, probably like 2020. I think is when it was conceived of. And it's still in the planning phases. It's been going through a lot of back and forth in the city for community input. And so most recently this year, there's been some traction on this project. And a section of it became kind of a point of contention with how to route the Spot Pond Brook Park or way itself. So this particular section was the Canal Street section. And overall, let me back up, and this pathway is going to connect the Northern Strand Trail to downtown Malden, to Malden Center, and along the Y, past the Y, and up to Coydamore Leah Park. It was originally slated to go a little further than that, but right now the plans will have it end at Coydamore Leah. So each section has its own challenges, and one of the most recent ones that we had to advocate for was the section that was going to happen around Canal Street. So the Canal Street section, I don't know if anyone has, like, if you walked down that road right now, but the sidewalk is incredibly small, and there's a senior housing complex that's a little further down on Medford Street, near Medford Street. And so that became a corridor for people to get to Stop and Shop to do their groceries. And many of these people can't drive. They will literally use their mobility device to go down Canal Street to get to their groceries. And the sidewalk has many utility poles and obstructions on it, and they're forced into the roadway. So the original plan for the Spot Pond Brook Greenway had the sidewalk being extended and providing a nice wide pathway for both people who are walking or biking, and would have resulted in people not having to be forced onto the street. So we tried to fight to keep that piece of the Spot Pond Brook Greenway. However, the businesses had their concerns about the cross traffic between their trucks, between pedestrians, and it was decided to kind of change the pathway a little bit and run to, I believe, Main Street instead, and then go down Charles Street and back up Middlesex Street. So the plan changed a bit, but at the end, we're still thankful that it's still going to potentially happen, and that the project is not dead. So we helped at least bring awareness to this project, and hopefully we'll continue to bring more awareness and keep it on track.
Great, thank you. So what I understood from this is that you're trying to get sidewalks that are legally accessible under the Americans with Disabilities Act,
Right.
which I think requires 4-foot wide sidewalks.
Yeah, I think more than that.
Four to five, at least 4 to 5
Yeah.
feet of width for mobility devices to be able to pass, so that people, including seniors, are safe. And you're what I think I heard you say is that the business community on Canal Street actually pushed back against that and required the path to be rerouted.
That's correct.
rather than benefit their own businesses with the increased foot traffic and the increased mobility device traffic that would come from having the path run down Canal Street. Did I understand that right?
Yeah, that's.
What do you think, Bob? How would
No, I think that is correct. And I think that some of the businesses, most of the businesses on Canal Street don't have a lot of foot traffic.
Okay.
They have a lot of truck traffic,
Okay.
which is I observe to be only at certain times of the day that the trucks really need to use it. And there's the Malden or the Mystic Valley Gun Club is there as well, and they were one of the active opponents of adding the bike and pedestrian access on Canal Street. We believe, and we argued very strongly that with the path on the correct side, which is to say on the same side of the street as the Northern Strand, that it would not interfere with the trucks because it would be on the same side of the street as the truck openings, so it would not actually cut down the width of the street. Canal is a very wide street.
It is.
There is certainly room to put wide sidewalk lanes, etc. there, and so what we're advocating for, we did send a letter to this effect, is that the new route of the Spot Pond Brook Greenway does achieve certain goals sort of further north, right? It does help connect from Coydamore Park down to the Northern Strand, but it does not help Ward 1 residents access Stop and Shop, the Malden train station, etc. And so we are continuing to advocate for that accessibility on Canal Street, and also we would like to see on Charles Street, which is also a very wide street,
Yes.
and runs parallel to Route 60, so it that is a good cross street for folks to be able to use, right? So we are accepting the new path of the Greenway as serving its own purpose, but for the neighborhood, we're still advocating for that increased accessibility, ADA compliance, all those things for Canal and Charles Streets.
Great. Thank you for explaining that in such detail. And so, since we were talking about a little bit about mobility devices in the Canal Street project, you've done this walk audit, which I understand is having people actually walk around their neighborhoods and write down, here's where the crosswalk needs a better signal. Here's where there need to be bump plates so that mobility devices know that there's a curb cut coming down, things like that. Tell me a little bit more about the walk audit and how you're serving not only people who walk and bike, but also people who use wheelchairs or other mobility devices.
So I'll take this one. So Noah, one of our board members who we're really lucky to have, he stepped up to the plate here because this is a big project. In the beginning, when I envisioned we would approach this point, because we were pretty aware that there wasn't a walk audit for Malden since 2021, I think. So it's been a while. So as a group, we wanted to make sure we were able to see where the community was feeling like they would like something to be addressed. And we advocate for safe streets. We are aware of what our urban planner, our transportation planner, Jim Tarr, he has a list of everything and itemized like what the city should look at and how much it will cost. But this will be a different kind of resource where maybe his list is outdated and something happened, and we can be on the ground as community members and use Noah's. He turned this form into a Google Doc, so individuals can just open it on their phone and use it while they walk and plug in all the information that they see. We have 5 different types of walk audits you can do. For instance, you can see how the spaces are being utilized at the time. So we can actually see, like, is this bus stop being utilized more by the elderly, or is it more the students going to schools? And is DOT keeping track? Because are they using the kids' cell phones to track? Not all kids have cell phones, so we don't actually know. Well, I mean, these are kind of things we can do with the walk audit. We can pay attention to this fine-tuning community on the foot kind of things that maybe the city doesn't have on their checklists.
So you're just getting more data that the city can use to make Malden a better place to be for the 40% of Maldonians who don't own a personal car.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. How are you? So in that, when you're surveying and doing the walk audit, what are there specific ways that you're working on access for mobility devices, like marking the places where the sidewalks aren't ADA width and things like that?
Yeah, we take mental notes about it, and it'll always be good to take photos. And so we're writing this down in the Google Doc, and then we're compiling it all together. We've had 45 walk audits completed. 7 wards have done this, and 5 different. We have 5 different types of walk audits, but specifically the sidewalk, the distress of the sidewalks, understanding where the curbs are, if it is accessible to somebody in a wheelchair. Like, we can write this down and make sure that we speak about it with our groups. We have ward groups.
Okay.
So we focus in on smaller groups as well as the large groups. So we have the large general meetings, and then we have the small ward groups.
Okay, so ward level working groups that can then go to each local city councilor and say, look, this is an issue for us and we care about you getting the sidewalks fixed. We care about the crosswalks.
And we care about this particular one. Right?
Exactly.
So we did a walk audit, and this street right here, that needs attention.
And that makes a huge difference. I live in Ward 5, and we had a really bad traffic incident where someone was speeding, and we had to work with our city councilor and with the chief of police to get some speed control devices put in. So what I hear you saying is that you're teaching people how to do that kind of on-the-ground activism with their city councilors and actually make government be responsive to the concerns of pedestrians and cyclists and mobility device users.
That's right.
Okay, cool.
And we're getting good feedback from, Allie's mentioned, we work with the city, with Jim Tarr a lot, and we get good feedback from the city that being able to provide them with this information is helpful to them, that they, them, so that they are aware, that they know, because, they do their own inventories and so on and so forth, but more eyes, more information, more data.
Eyes on the street always
Exactly.
change things. Yeah, great. And I also heard that you've been polling the political candidates in the last election. What was that like, and what did you learn?
We have. So on this one, kudos go to Sheila, another one of our board members who did tremendous work on this, putting the questions together. We worked together, but Sheila definitely took the lead on this and sent them out and followed up with all the candidates. We got really good response. Check my math, it was 9?
9 board members?
The
sorry.
responses.
Nine responses. Yeah, you can see them on our website.
Yeah.
I think it was 9.
Yeah, I think, but so we got a very good response rate. You can go to our website. You can see it's under politics. You can the election 2025. You can see all the responses from the candidates, what their positions are on the questions that we asked. As I said, there was a very, very good response rate, better than we really expected. We had 7 questions. We won't go into all of them, but asking counselors and candidates how they get around, what concrete actions they would like to see. We asked a question about safe routes to school, essentially, and we asked about interconnected trails, similar to the conversation we were having here about the Spot Pondbrook Greenway, and asking about, and we asked a specific question about micro-mobility, and tied that into the specific question of Canal Street and Charles Street. And say, as an example, here we have these busy car-centric arteries. What is your position on making them more accessible for all forms of micro-mobility, whether that's walking, biking, scooter, using a wheelchair, using some other mobility device. Skateboard.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So I've heard you mention your website a few times. Can someone tell me where the website is and where else to find you online?
So our website is just maldensafestreets.org.
Okay.
And there you have our contact information. But if you want to get in touch with us, we're email@maldensafestreets.org. You can just email us there. We also have a Blue Sky account. We have a Facebook account. And I think we also have a Reddit account now.
Okay.
Discord.
And a Discord. That's
So all different kinds of social media people
do,
can get
yeah.
involved. And so I assume that we can, if we go to maldensafestreets.org, there are links to all of the rest of your social media presence?
Exactly.
Okay, great.
And I think the most recent one was a LinkedIn that one of our board members started.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
just to
great.
Cover it.
Little bit
Yeah.
of everything.
We can't promise we'll respond right away. We're all just volunteers.
Yeah.
We all have day jobs, but we try as best as we can to respond to people as soon as they send us a message. But yeah, come to our meetings. I know it's once a month, and that's where you can get
Okay,
hold of
and
us.
you said the meetings are on
On the last Monday of the month, 6:30 to 7:30.
The last Monday of the month, 6:30 to 7:30. So
With pizza.
So,
With pizza.
so in December, I suspect that means you're going to be meeting during the holiday week.
We are skipping December. Woo! Sorry,
Okay.
I needed a break. So,
Okay,
like,
so there'll be a meeting in
January.
on the last Monday in January.
I believe
Yes.
it's the 26th.
Okay.
We
Well,
are
you can-
already planning for Massachusetts Walkability Commission. Wait, well, so we're already trying to plan to meet with other spotlights groups.
Okay.
So I'm already imagining we might even break up into groups and talk about the walk audits because this is
In
such
January.
a big project. Yeah.
Okay.
We should also mention that, you know, we've had the mayor has come to speak and take questions at one of our meetings. Jim Tarr came, and that was tremendous. He had just started. We were, you know, it was
Yeah,
like
it
his
was crazy.
his first week or so, and he came and met with
It was
us.
amazing.
It was terrific. Safe Routes to School. Tina came. And spoke with us. We had a presentation one month on bike safety.
With a certified American cyclist.
Legal cyclists. Yeah.
And one
cyclist.
of the Malden police officers came and attended that one as well. and
Amanda, she's amazing.
Amanda was terrific.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, we get good. We try to have good content, and we've gotten pretty good turnout.
So because of your guest speakers, it's really it's not just a place to meet other ordinary Maldonians who are interested in getting around safely, but also to really get a pulse of the city government and other people in the city who
Absolutely.
have some authority to change things on the ground for people.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for talking with us. So people can get involved by coming to one of your monthly meetings or by sending you email or getting
Absolutely.
involved with your social media.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, Malden Safe Streets, thank you so much for being here this month. You can find Malden Safe Streets at maldensafestreets.org. This has been Malden Community Conversations with the Malden Community Coalition. Thanks for joining us, and have a wonderful holiday season.